Hi, Taryn here from Knowify Customer Service, here to give you more information on Knowify 2.12. One of the first major changes you'll see is your work in progress revenue calculation in your contract jobs module. Knowify can now calculate expected revenue on a project based off of the amount of cost that you've logged on it thus far. This way, Knowify can give you better real-time profit based off of how far along through the project you are. To get Knowify to calculate these numbers, you'll need to set up a job in professional mode. This will allow you to have a total budget to track your actual costs against. This way, as you track your costs against a job, we can see your percentage of completion of the project based off of your actual expenses versus how much you initially budgeted. You can always see similar numbers to this in your project report. You'll see it gives you an overall percentage of completion of the job and also a breakdown per each individual phase. Now, back in this job's analytics, you'll see the work in progress revenue, which has been calculated based off of your percentage of completion of the project times the total contract value. This way, it won't look like you're losing money on jobs just because you haven't sent an invoice out for them yet. Another new feature we've added is the ability to create contract jobs out of the service tickets that you create in your dispatch jobs module. This way, if your jobs generally start with an appointment made at the client's address, you can start by setting it up as a service ticket. I'm going to use a service that I set up called Measurements. It doesn't have any kind of price associated with it. You can include service notes if you want to for the person doing the measurements. And then you'll schedule the appointment for them to stop by the client's house. Then, when you create this ticket, you'll have the ability to send an appointment email directly to the client. You'll see that now there's this Convert to Contract Job button here, but you can also start with the ticket by submitting comments or even images that you uploaded from the mobile app when you're on the site visit. I'll upload my Knowify Night logo here. And then when you convert it to a contract job, all of this information will pull over into the Plan and Track section as a phase. You'll see that we created a job. The default will always be an owner contract in professional mode, but you can come down and edit this information if you need to. My Plan and Track section is currently inactive, but it's set up as site visit phase. This is where any cost associated with the ticket will be allocated, as well as any comments that you submitted. I can also start by creating a contract if I want to. That way, if you just simply get your measurements and then quote the prices without worrying about building a project plan, that's an option. Then I can also go to my Documents and RFI section to see the images that I uploaded to the ticket. So if you took any pictures of the site when you were doing your visit, you have the option to reference them as you're creating the contract. And if you ever need to reference the initial ticket, you can go to your General Information tab, click the Via Dispatch button, and it'll pull you right there. With this new release, we've also added the ability to write in a manual check-in and check-out time for your employees. This way, if your employees forgot to check in and check out on their mobile phone, but you still want to have their time on and off site associated with their entries, it'll be an option in this section. Simply go to the check-in check-out view where you usually see everyone's entries, and you can add new, choose the start time that they got to site, then you can set the time that they left, and when you click create, it'll automatically submit a time entry for them, and the entry will be pushed along for approval by whoever reviews the timesheets. One of the last major changes we made to the system is the ability to set up maintenance contracts with separate billing and service frequencies. This way, if you don't invoice your clients per each visit, you can set up your billing frequency, write in the amount you charge per each billing period, and then when the contract is active, it'll set up all of the billable items independent of all of your visits. You'll notice that this is changeable when you're making this active. And other than that, the rest of the maintenance contract works the same. You can go to your pending service to schedule the appointment. It'll all be handled in your dispatch jobs. Only now, instead of having to wait to schedule and perform the service to invoice it, you can come back to the contract, choose Invoice Now, and there will be an invoiceable item set up for each billing period. If you would like more information about anything we've changed or anything about Knowify, always feel free to reach out to the customer support team at support@knowify.com and someone will be happy to help you. Thank you, and have a nice day.